And when they go back to the business, they can really have the ability to shape things and have the ability to understand where the real problems is, the root causes is, where the risk and opportunities are. And when they actually have a actionable solution, they can communicate this clearly with stakeholders within the business and actually empower people to use ESG to identify opportunities and solve problems.
Well, I think we are doing it in two ways. Number one is we are still a manufacturer. So during the manufacturing process, we do produce carbon. So what we target as RICO, as a group, what we target to do is to try to reduce as much as possible during the process, also through a lot of recycling and reduction initiatives from the manufacturing side. So I think that is also something that we have been focused and doing a lot of investment on the research on the production side of it. For example, our latest version of our printer, we now call it a everlasting MFP because it will be always current. So we are trying to use the software technology to upgrade the firmware of the machine and keep it all the time up to date with the latest technology that can be input into the system and keep it running as long as it could be. So this is from the manufacturing side, try to keep carbon emission as low as possible. But on the other hand, is we also from our business mission as well, because as I mentioned earlier, that we are focusing on B2B business for IT or digital services for our client. So what we helping our client is to migrate from the analog paper-based or somehow is a lot of people-based operation into more automation, or what we call the deploying more what we call the latest digital transformation technology for improving the process, reducing less carbon emission during the process, and employ less labor in the process as well. So that help to achieve two things. One is a lot more efficient and targeted delivery of services. Second, to make the human life become a lot more easier, right? And can focus on what they want to do, what they could to do, right? So that is another two things that we help the society by digital transformation. So in terms of the business side, we focus a lot on workplace consulting. So anything related to the workplace that they want to digitize into a next operating model, then we are here to support the client to do so. So that's why at the same time, we need a lot of talent from that area to know or to at least build in with the DNA of a ESG expert. And they come out and tell our client how to become a lot more digitized. And that is something that we'll be able to build up somebody's career into this area.
Definitely. So I think, yeah, with all the courses that we have that's around ESG, obviously there are some that are more focused in, investment, in finance. Some are more in, leadership skills. I would say, all in all, definitely, we are trying to, equip students with the necessary mindset. I think as a leader, how you actually can focus not just on your shareholders, right, but on all your stakeholders. And your stakeholders is not just talking about, the business stakeholders, but also, basically, a lot of the, community as well. So, that is definitely one part that we definitely want to focus on, is to, again, have students coming from all sorts of backgrounds. Some are coming from engineering, some are coming from, finance, some are coming from human resources, marketing, etc. But coming to MBA, they have that, very solid business foundation, get that holistic business view. And when they go back to the business, they can really, have the ability to shape things and have the ability to understand where the real problems is, the root causes is, where the risk and opportunities are. And when they actually have a actionable solution, they can communicate this clearly with stakeholders within the business and actually empower people to use ESG to identify opportunities and solve problems. Because I think a lot of times what we are seeing in businesses is they still need some of that push or that empowerment to do things. So that's, I guess, all in all, there are different courses being offered, but that would be the general theme that we have.
Absolutely. I think that as we discuss, ESG is here to stay, and it's not just a whim that people will just think, oh, let's do it, and then tomorrow we will stop. It is a goal. It is an objective for the city, but also it's a national commitment that has been given. But the exciting thing about that is not just for Hong Kong and for China, but also for the world. So there is a real agenda that has to be done. So every company, and the interesting thing about that, it's not just private sector companies, whether it is an academic institution or an NGO, as well, of course, private companies, they are adopting, and they will have to adapt that because of the convergence of technology, because of the speed with which things are coming, and because of the agenda that is set forth in terms of carbon neutrality. Companies, every organization, large and small, will have to come up with a solution in terms of ESG, a path or roadmap, if you will, to not only sustain, but also remain relevant in business. Because this, you see, the thing is about this is that one may think that, well, this is not really my concern. My business is my core business into something else. But the thing is that your bank or your client or your stakeholders with which, or your partners with whom you are dealing with, are going to be requesting that you have an ESG or sustainability strategy and implementation. So it's not just something that one may or may not like to do. It's just all the forces and the way things are developing into it, it's going to all come together. And even if people haven't seen it yet, I think that they will see it very, very soon. And I think that as we move forward, it's going to be so much talk about it that I think it will become a normal thing that is part of our way of doing business. And without that, it's not going to be, people are not going to be able to exist and continue and thrive.
If I could actually tack on a follow-up question to our audience member. So how much of the companies, let's say it's a private company, how much of their effort should be invested in this particular portion as opposed to their regular operations? So in particular for ESG.
I think that, it's interesting because ESG, the whole area of sustainability, is not just one function. It's not just one company. So I think in every department or organization, in every part of the organization, that it's almost like part of a culture, of a corporate culture. It's going to be part of that, the whole idea from very top management to the board of directors to the management, and every middle manager and every company employee will have to adopt and adapt and be part of that. So that is so exciting because it's not just one person doing it, but you obviously need a leader, probably a chief sustainable officer or somebody with that title, but it has to be part of that whole culture.